you know there are a lot of issues behind what will be going on, and taking medications daily is hard. I struggle taking a week's course of antibiotics, and I can't imagine how hard it must be for someone going through the turbulence of adolescence to also need to be responsible enough to take medications every day. So empathy is really important. So for those who are really struggling talking to patients, counselors talk to clients and give strong, sterner encouragement. We don't have individual consulting rooms. We have consulting spaces, rooms separated by curtains. So if you were to listen really hard, you could hear what's happening in the next consulting room. There's only so much you can do beyond strong counseling, we feel. Physical exercise is great for the mood, so you just feel happier when, particularly dancing, just makes you happy. It's like laughing. It does good like medicine, proverbs would say. Yeah.
Wasn't took it that serious when I was taking my medication. I thought it was a minor issue. So sometimes I took, sometimes I started to realize that my status was not good. And it keeps hitting me because I was the only one in the family infected. I always thought of ending my life.
It's really hard and painful. It's hard to live without your biological mother or biological father. Whilst I was in the hospital, after I was being discharged, 2 days later, I had a stroke. And the stroke, it also affected me. Because they said you get loss of memory and a loss of memory. That's where I started to know I think there's no way to live. How can I live?
Because in the other sections would be ourselves, but not ourselves. As in, you'd hint yourself, but then you hide the rest inside. Of which this side I find that really healthy, because no one is ashamed to talk about what they're doing when it comes to anything. The fact that we just felt so welcome and free just made it all work for us.
From the time we started, they have certainly opened up a lot more. I remember one of the first sessions, they weren't too eager to participate. Everyone was a bit skeptical about what exactly we're trying to do. But the more we introduce the different concepts, the different techniques, I've really found that they've opened up more. They've expressed themselves a lot more, and they're participating more in all the activities.
Here people mainly focus on each other's strengths. Even if someone is not good at something, it's all about encouraging one another so that people learn and they reach their maximum potential, and it's just a free space for everyone.
Firstly, this group has been useful to me because I have learned the skill to meditate in this group. And secondly, I've learned to focus on one thing. If I focus, I will prosper.
Okay, the first time I saw these kids, the adolescents, when I spoke to them, most of them, they had stories to tell. And those stories were sad stories. Some, they had problems with adherence. Some, they had psychosocial problems like the issue of stigma, the issue of discrimination, the issue of loneliness, the different sad stories. And some, they were suicidal. And then the first time they attended the session, they were asked to introduce themselves. You know, the introductions were all about living with HIV positive. They never spoke about anything else. So it seems like their lives were they only thought that it's all about being HIV positive. But after 2-3 sessions, you could see the changes, you know. They started being positive about life, that, oh wow, I've got this talent, I can dance, I can sing, I can do a lot of stuff after all, even though I'm HIV positive.
I think it would be an impossible thing to measure, but from what I've seen in this moment, I think I'm going to see a huge change in them in the clinic, and I'm so excited, and I think we need to do more of this, because sitting in a clinic and telling someone to take their pills just doesn't do the same job. And seeing them out there, I feel like they're just taking on a new lease of life, and I think that will just change things. I think it's amazing.
This group, it may not change one person, but it should change the whole world, because there are people outside there need this group, need us, need to experience what I experienced, to learn what I learned, because I learned a lot and now I'm someone else.